Yes, Independence Stadium was banned in 2019, but in 2020, government put in some money to renovate it, and that allowed us to play some of our AFCON, actually, all of our AFCON matches for 2021. So when the Gambia qualified for AFCON 2021, we actually played in the Gambia.
Oh, did we?
And then I did witness a match at the Independence Stadium in March of 2021. That was the match that we defeated, if you remember.
Was it Angola? No, Angola was in 2019.
Angola was in 2019. Yes. It was Gabon when we defeated Gabon to qualify for AFCON for the first time. So it was after that, in 2022, that CAF reinstated the ban and saying that what was done in
Okay, so the ban was in 2019, then you did some adjustments,
yes,
which they found okay.
Yes.
You know,
and allowed us to play AFCON qualifiers.
Oh, that's funny.
And after AFCON qualifiers in 2022, that was when they reinstated the new ban. And that is the one that has still been in effect. So, of course, you remember we qualified in AFCON here in March of 2021. So that's the little bit of history.
Yeah, before we go on to, you know, I mean, you addressing the issue of government policy on youth. Why is CAF holding on to, the stadium being maintained on the banned list still? Because some of us, watch matches being played in other countries, teams having home advantage on pitches that could not in any way be better than what we have at the Independence Stadium.
No, that remains our position, and unfortunately, the reaction from some of the Gambians here is different. But from some of us that are there, and the people that have gone around with the national team and know what obtains in some of the countries, everybody tells you that what is done in the country is almost the same or even more than what they see in some other countries, including some of our neighboring countries and some of the countries where we host our matches. Now, why that is the situation, we still find it very difficult to understand. We've tried our best.
Are you not talking directly to CAF?
No, by regulation, we cannot. We don't talk directly to CAF. We talk to CAF through the Gambia Football Federation. So whatever we have, we channel it through the Football Federation, and CAF talks to us through the Football Federation. So they don't even address the ministry. They don't address government. They address the federation, and the federation communicates to us. When we respond to the federation, and the federation communicates to CAF. That is the norm that has been established over time, and that is what we continue to follow. So government cannot write to CAF. They will not even respond to you. That has been the issue. So what we're doing now is, well, the last thing they said was that every other thing was good except the pitch. And in their letter, they said the pitch still requires some more work. Specifically, it was about how green it was, that it was supposed to be greener, and that there was some fungal attack that they said affected the look of the pitch. So we were asked to work on that, and that also means that I should rectify the whole notion that the grass is substandard and it's not good. CAF didn't say that. If you look at the report, the report said the grass is the right type of grass, and the hybrid is normal. However, they said there was some issues with the greenery, and then, of course, we were coming from the raining season. There was fungal attack. And even the CAF inspector, we did promise him that before the match day, all of that would have gone. But then, they couldn't take that. So, and then they asked us to work on it. When we worked on it and completed, we again wrote to the federation to say, invite CAF to come and do the inspection. This match, before the match, we wanted them to come and do the inspection. They responded. We got a letter from the GFF saying they are coming to do the inspection. 2 days after, they changed that letter again, sent us another letter and said, unfortunately, they will not be able to make it for this window, and that they will come in later on. So these are the issues that we've been going through between us, the federation, and CAF. And sometimes it's difficult. It's like one department will make one decision, and a day after, another department makes another decision. From
Department of CAF, you mean?
Yeah, okay. From the same institution. Because competition department and safety and security and others are a little bit, they're different. They're all different. But they're all under one institution called CAF. Now, why the changes happen? And with all fairness, the coach was there recently, and he made a remark. But people think that, why was he making that? But that's a fact. Anybody that you talk to, and I don't want to quote people, but even some of them in the Football Federation, when we went on a pre-inspection before the arrival of the CAF, the assurance I got as a minister from the members of the executive of the federation is that as far as they know, and they are all CAF stadium inspectors, everything is good. And we are all hopeful that we are going to get the CAF approval. All of a sudden, it didn't happen. But moving forward, we are getting the right machines. In the initial stage of the renovation, the maintenance aspect, that's the post-rehabilitation maintenance, was not factored. So what we're doing now is to get the right machines for the cutting of the grass, because that's one of the things that the calf inspector for CAF sent another expert.
So the mowers you were using were not of the,
Of the right
recommended type.
That's what they said.
Okay.
That's what the CAF, when he came in, this was not the inspector, this was the CAF expert sent us another guy, like they promised. And when he came, he said, okay, this is not the right type of machines, and you need to get certain type of machines that are, it's machine driven, so somebody has to drive them. Those are the type that are required for the type of grass we have. And those are not available around here. We've, we have to buy them from somewhere else.
Sure.
So the company that CAF linked us is in France, and we are working with them to procure all the equipments that are needed, and their staff would be here to train our staff on how to maintain the type of pitches that we have. That was what was missing. So we're hoping that by the first week of April, we will finalize the contract. Again, these are all procedure issues. The documents are currently at the Public Procurement Authority to wait for approval on how to procure from an international company without having the local company here. So that was what when we get that, we will sign the contract, and then they will come and train our people. And we hope that when CAF comes back again, we will be able to get the approval.
I think it's the right decision, because if you now get these machines from a supplier recommended by CAF, and then CAF sends you personnel to do the cutting, I don't think they would turn around and say, well, you still did not use the right equipment, and, you didn't cut it the right. But I just want us to dial back to what the coach might have said, because they speak on different platforms. What did he say about the pitch that you take to be the absolute truth that people are not maybe heeding, because maybe they just want to be critical of this government?
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part. I mean, to talk about that, I did think, and I'm not asking anybody to support us, but I thought that when national issues happen, that some of the Gambians, or majority of our people, are supposed to see the country and not the politics of what happens or the wasted money they did that. Yeah. Because that's what some of the people were reacting to.
You would expect UDP to react the way they reacted. I mean, they are competing you for
the state house,
for authority,
or the
exactly.
government.
Yeah,
no, and I agree with that. But what I mean is the overall, the other Gambians, because when certain things happen and you think you are being treated because you are a small country, you do not have the power at the international level to make certain things happen, the country's citizens are supposed to stand with the government and call out CAF for whatever wrong they're doing. I mean, like I said, people go to, and I don't want to name countries by my state.
I'd like to know what the coach said.
No, the coach said, recently he was there when he came in to prepare for this match that we're playing with Kenya. Yeah. We all saw him. I was in there, but he had a session with some of the sport journalists. And the question came up about the pitch. And he said he was at the stadium and he went onto the pitch, walked on that pitch, and as far as he knows, the pitch has met the requirements that he has seen anywhere around the world. And he even made reference that some of the pitches where they played in Morocco and other places, this pitch is better than that.
Wow, that's a profound statement.
That is what he said. And I guess that is what everybody else should know, because the coach, I have not even, apart from the day we signed him, I've never met him, I never talked to him. And I don't even know what he's up to apart from what he does on the media. But this was his statement. And like I said, not only him, some of our players were here in December for the holidays, and they took time to go to the stadium, went into the change room, and went onto the pitch, and went around the field. And most of them that reacted gave a positive feedback as long as the pitch is concerned and the change room. So we continue to struggle with CAF. But like I said, we're moving on. They have identified a company that they said is good enough, is a reputable company. We would work with them
in France
to get the equipment that are needed and get them to be here for 2
months.
months.
How much is this? Is it one mower or a couple of mowers you're going to be procuring?
No, it's actually they call it it's a rotator. That's how they call it. The machine is like a tractor. But then on the name that I saw on the procurement is rotator. Okay. And then the rotator comes along with some accessories, just like how a tractor has all these accessories. So one machine does the cutting, and then they will remove it and attach another equipment there that will do the combing, and then they will remove it and put another attachment there that does the sanding. So they have all of those things. So they have the cutting, the mowing, the sanding, and then the application of the fertilizer. Each one has its own equipment that will be attached to the tractor if you want to use the local
If we
name.
have that, we can apply to host the Africa Cup of Nations.
Well, I'm not sure with one stadium. Maybe co-host with Senegal.
You would have sorted the second stadium.
Yeah, we're definitely working on that.
Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
So yeah, so we're moving ahead. But
so when you say you're dealing with CAF, through what GFF official? The president, the secretary general, who?
The secretary general.
Secretary general.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe we should get Lamin Jassy on the program to come and tell us what's going on in CAF. Who he's talking to. That's creating all this confusion. I've said this behind your back that I have watched matches taking place in certain countries on pitches that cannot be near, let alone outdo the quality that we have here in the Gambia. Yet we always, come back failing. First it was what? The toilets, then the journalists, the media tribune, but apparently that's all been fixed. And now it's a question of the pitch. And it would appear the pitch might be the most expensive of this undertaking, because if you have to fly in a machine, and then you have to think about spares and maintenance and all of that. No,
that's true. Yes, it's one of the most expensive because there's a complete removal of what was originally there. And with these modern pitches, you have the popping up sprinkler systems, wherein you somewhere control somewhere else, and then they're timed.
Well, the stadium has had that from day one. The Independent Stadium sprinklers?
No, they're different. Those sprinklers are out. They are no longer there.
Oh, okay.
They were removed. That's why when people talk about the cost of the stadium, they didn't take time to even understand what consists of the work.
But why did they remove the sprinklers?
No, because they don't work with this kind of modern system of pitches.
Really?
Yeah, the entire system was out. There were sprinklers that were on the side. Now, these sprinklers we have now are popping up systems that are automated. So, if, for instance, you program them for 12 o'clock, when it's 12 o'clock, they pop up, and then they water, and then they go back down again in the middle of the pitches. So, those are some new systems.
The Chinese system was the same. It popped up, watered. Sometimes, just to show off, at halftime, the stadium management would just make them work and everybody would applaud them. Come on, Bakary.
Okay. No, I don't know.
You would have been a small kid at the time.
Yes, and I don't remember how it worked. I remember that there were some bigger sprinkler systems that were there.
Yes.
Those are the ones, so those are the ones that I know about. And these ones are different, like I said.
Okay.
These are
more modern,
smaller, more modern.
Probably they use far less water and are more efficient.
No, they actually use more water.
The new ones?
Yes. They actually use more water, and then I think
can now extend that, or you'll have your own.
It's expensive. The bills now we have monthly is a lot. It's especially during the construction time. I've not checked recently how much it is, but our bills goes to about 100,000 per month just for the water. Yeah, but like I said, the everything changed at the stadium. Because when these guys came and they looked at it, in fact, what they were saying is that the kind of machines that were there are old, and then they cannot be able to go along with the kind of pitch we have. So they have to remove everything and run a complete new system of watering, just like how we remove the entire electrical and plumbing systems.
I was going to say
all of those things were changed. So what people see at the stadium is the structure, which is the main building. Every other thing in that stadium changed: electrical, plumbing, the watering system, the change rooms, everything that was there, the ceilings were all broken and everything has to come fresh. So when people say, they spend so much money, we ask that people check online and look at Burkina Faso, Mali, Sierra Leone, Liberia. How much did they spend? Each one of them is more than $10 million. We didn't even spend $5 million on what we're doing right now. Including yet.
Yeah, we haven't finished yet.
Yeah, but even if we add the machines that we are buying, we're not even getting to that level. That's the reality, because our expenditure, I've seen people talk about 400 million. I don't even know where they get that figures, because one thing I know about is we were very transparent when it comes to the stadium. I was regularly updating the media. Sometimes we take them there, we show them what we're doing. We will take them and go around. At the end, they ask questions. So wherever they got that money from, we didn't talk about it, because all along we have said we've spent $275 million on the stadium.
Okay. Well, that's official now. If they were saying 400 million, you're saying that's not correct.
No, we have always been very
The correct figure is 275 million.
That's what we have spent so far, and that's what we have been communicating. So even if you add whatever, it's not good in getting to the 400 that they've been talking about.